Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So we have a lot of updates from the storm track yesterday. Obviously the message is still the same. A huge winter storm is on its way, a blockbuster for many locations. Amounts will be in the double digits, widespread from the south into Arkansas, up into the Ohio Valley and through the Northeast. And again, some large updates were made, increasing the snowfall amounts for many areas, and potentially a second beast is on its way right after this system. So we'll be talking about that. If you guys would like to subscribe to this channel, we do weather discussion videos, and if you like that type of stuff, consider subscribing, consider liking the video. And if not, at least hopefully I could provide some useful information. Otherwise, let's get into this video. So I want to start off by looking at the interactive radar. Notice that we have snow extending from southern Canada all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. And let me run this through the past six hours and notice what we have, right? We have a lot of snow, showers, very light snow here, but we had a very heavy snow band move through Oklahoma, dumped quite a bit of snow, and it's still snowing there. But look at this, right? This is 2 o'clock now Central Standard Time, or 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Notice that as we push forward, we see the snow spreading, kind of developing across northern Illinois, Michigan. Again, lighter in nature, nothing too significant, but because it's so cold across the Midwest, any snow that does fall, especially further away from this rain-snow line, it accumulates quickly. And in some locations that are very far to the north, snow removal operations are quite dangerous, as this cold air is quite brutal. I mean, right now in Chicago, we are stuck at 3 Fahrenheit. That's downtown, which is much warmer than our outlying areas. So notice, right, the snow continued moving to the north. Now it's moving into St. Louis. Again, light snow across the North Pole. Look at that across Texas, right? We started to see the Gulf of Mexico add in moisture. We see this very strong, heavy snow band now just moving into Dallas over the last really hour. Depends where western portions got it already for an hour and a half. It's now starting to just move into eastern Dallas, right? Fort Worth got it a bit earlier. Notice this is definitely looking like it's supposed to dump a lot of snow. It's not underperforming by any measure across Texas. Okay, lots of rain here that will kind of work in with the system, but not as much as one would think. And then a bit of snow showers and rain showers across the northwest, kind of to do with our next system that we'll be tracking across similar areas. Snowfall reports. And notice that we do have some extremely high amounts because of lake effect in Michigan, 40 inches, right? This was from yesterday, some decent amounts. Detroit got a bit of light snow. Chicago got some light snow. And this is our system, what has dropped so far. Notice that the highest amount is from Sugarloaf campgrounds in Washington. That is 50 inches of snow right there, just north of the Colorado border. And we saw Colorado pick up decent amounts of snow, right? Very high in the mountains. Denver, I don't think picked up too much. Yeah, 1.2 inches. Bullock, Nebraska, 3 to 5 inches. Into Oklahoma City, they're just coming in. I mean, you can see this is a little bit over an hour old, and we are looking at already 6 inches just northwest of the village, which is a bit, I think, southwest of Oklahoma City by itself. No, just northwest. And notice into Dallas, Fort Worth, just half inch for now, but probably a bit more as this was 11:15, 12:30. So if you guys could leave your reports and comments down below with how much snow you've gotten, that would be amazing. But obviously, very good amounts of snow. Seattle, yesterday, I think, confirmed over 11 inches in some areas. So that was definitely a good event. And again, associated with this snowstorm. Okay, regarding the total snowfalls, right? So this is the National Weather Service snowfall outlook for the whole entire United States for the whole storm system time frame. Now again, I do want to say that the further away you go into the Great Lakes or the Northeast, these amounts are probably less accurate as the system for those locations is still a bit further away. The central United States and the southern states, it's more accurate as the system's already unfolding and it's definitely more imminent, better model data. Notice, let's just run this through 72 hours and stop it right here. A little bit of the snow is from that second use system. You can see it starts adding in right there across Oklahoma. But let's just leave it there and account for that. So that's a bit overdone there. But you can see they have 5-6 inches across Dallas. Again, those may fall a bit heavier or a bit lower at this point. I would probably say this is a good estimate, though I wouldn't be surprised to see 6-7 inch amounts based on how quickly that snow fell across Oklahoma and portions of western Texas. Notice across the east, right into Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, a blockbuster system. A system many of these locations haven't seen in a while. I mean, St. Louis, 8 inches of snow. Southern Illinois, 8 inches. Notice, however, the big trend with this latest forecast change that I was talking about. some of these areas across, say, Tennessee and Kentucky got some of that snowfall cut off. It seems as if the rain snow line has pushed to the north, or the predicted rain snow line will set up a bit further to the north. And I shouldn't have really drawn the arrow, as this is where they think it'll set up. Yesterday it was a bit further towards the south and east. So that will diminish amounts into, say, Mississippi, into Alabama. However, northwestern parts could still pick up decent amounts. And notice that into Louisiana, they did trim these amounts just a bit. They increased the snowfall amounts across Memphis, for example, or they really stayed the same across Memphis. Nashville, they have decreased. Little Rock, they have increased. St. Louis, they have increased. Chicago, they have increased quite a bit. And I know I'm maybe a bit biased here, as that's where I'm from, but I do want to say that that's one of the few places, or sorry, one of the many places that have undergone a huge snowfall change. So with the storm being closer and the lake effects obviously being stronger because of the storm's proximity, portions in Chicago, cities or places in Chicago could pick up well over a foot of snow. Yeah, it's quite a big change. Yesterday I was saying 3 to 4 inches possible with this system. Now it looks as if there could be up to a foot. I was saying that, lake effect is hard to predict, and these amounts still may go up across some locations. So just a massive change. And notice, up and across the northeast, also huge changes, right? Pretty drastic snowfall amounts added on to, say, Detroit. Look at that, 8 inches, right? Cleveland, over a foot. Indianapolis, 10 inches. A ton of snow, and this is what the National Weather Service is calling for, which is probably the best measure that we have to look at in terms of total snowfall. I do want to say that this is probably going to be a good representation, but I do think a lot of these amounts here are going to be a bit higher, just based on a cold amount of air and how the National Weather Service has been inching these amounts further and further up the scale towards that foot and above. All right, let's take a look at these models. European, let's play the storm system out for you guys so you know what's going on. Again, this is just one model resolution, so it may not be the best. In my opinion, the European has kind of done a poor job, but it's still a decent model. Okay, notice, right, light snow as we have going on across the radar right now. This is at around midnight. Sorry about that. 6 p.m. tonight, which is right around when I'm recording this video. Notice this is today at midnight. Wave of snow starting to gather up here. Very, very strong wave across the south. Lighter snow to the north, not as significant. All right, and then notice this thing just starts buckling down. Lots of snow. Lots of heavy rain also to the south, and any that snow that fell to the north before this wave, that's kind of the precursor. Look at this thing. It wraps up a lot of precipitation and dumps a lot of snow into, say, Illinois, Indiana. You can see that there was a westward trend a bit. Ohio, southern Indiana, southern Illinois seeing the brunt into, say, Memphis. The European definitely is one of the models that is trending further to the south and east, and that's why I called it the past few days. The Euro would not do a good job with this system, and that was definitely the case. The Euro from 24 hours ago is quite vastly different from the Euro now. And let me just show you what what the European model does, right? It takes us through that system, and let's lock it in at hour 66 and take a look at these snowfall amounts. This mouse is jumping all over the place. Notice, this is what it calls for, assuming a 10-to-1, which a lot of these locations will be higher, right? Pretty inaccurate, especially as you get towards the north, where it will be heavier. But just to show you, 24 hours ago, it showed a system quite a bit further to the south and east, while models like the GFS consistently have been showing it further, or have been showing it consistently within this range. So let's just take it out to hour 84. Hour actually 72, because that's when the snow could be starting to add on across the southern locations from a new system. This is a bit more accurate. You can see 11, 12 inches. Definitely you can see those purple areas. That is a foot plus. That pink is obviously pinkish purple is into 6 inches plus. And then notice the blue is 3 to 4 inches. Here, that is from the additional snow that's going to be coming from that second system. Okay, so let's just time it out using the GFS model, and we'll take a glance at what it shows in terms of the precipitation type and rate, just to give you kind of a radar representation. Look at this. Right, so notice that this is just one model, so let's not get too kind of specific with these amounts, but what we do see is snow, light snow across much of Indiana, Ohio today, and then look, we see that very, very heavy band of snow that is right now occurring across Texas, kind of getting reinforced throughout the night with some precipitation. This moves to the north, and pretty quickly and intensely. Lake effect coming off the Lake of Michigan and a bit into Huron, possibly reaching Detroit maybe. Again, this won't be lake effect that is northwest to southeast. It's going to be lake effect northeast to southwest. Definitely different. Not an annual thing, or not even a thing that happens every decade for the city of Chicago. 12 inches of lake effect potentially, right? Notice that as we push this through, Indiana, Ohio, a lot of these locations have been snowstormed this year, and they will just pick up lots of snow. A rare system, to be honest, that takes this perfect track that will drop enough snow for you guys to see, a Blockbuster. It's looking more and more likely to do so. Stopping at hour 54, we already looked at the snowfall amounts. Let me just show you them again, just for the sake of showing you it, and you can see definitely good amounts into southern Canada as well. Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, Quebec, a lot of cities seeing decent amounts, again, as decent as we have here, if not more, right? As it will be pretty fluffy in the Kuchera, maybe even underdoing some of those amounts, right? So that's a GFS. Let me just quickly show you what the Canadian model shows in terms of snowfall from this first system. Here we go. This is it. Notice pretty good amounts, a bit lighter. It doesn't show like those those scattered 12-foot or 1 foot plus range amounts, but definitely similar scenario. A bit more widespread with the heavy snow. You can see it's a larger range in terms of width. But you could see that with that second system, we could get snow piled on even more. So definitely almost like a concerning scenario once this all starts to melt. Okay, so that's the Canadian. Let me quickly show you the GFS high res, which I think has probably done the best job with this system. And notice that from this system, this is what it shows. Many locations across Indy, Illinois, 12, 13 inches. And just find your location anywhere in the purple, this color, it's foot plus. Anywhere in the pink, it's 6 inches plus. Mostly higher though, and you can see Oklahoma City potentially seeing an additional 8-10 inches of snow, and you can see that's quite a bit different from the European that kind of tracks it further to the south and east, leaning. It leans it kind of further to the south and east, and you can see that. There we go. There's that layout of our system. There's our second one, which again is a bit further out, but we'll still have to monitor it as it's just a few days after our first one. A lot of snow, and it's honestly getting a bit concerning. As for example, here in my place, we have around 18 inches of snow on the ground. If we get a foot from the lake effect, and if we get potentially more snow from the second system, we could have over 2 feet of snowpack, if not close to 30 inches. And once that starts melting, it could be a concern. One that hasn't happened really ever, as a record snowpack in Chicago is 27. We might beat that amount. I'm speaking about Chicago because that's where I'm from. I'm sure it's going to be a similar scenario across much of the U.S. Look at these warnings. This is what I wanted to show you as well. Just absolutely stunning. Just looking at the whole state of Oklahoma. 100% of Texas under a winter storm warning. Truly incredible. Something you don't see on a annual, really, honestly, even on a decade basis. All of Texas under a winter storm warning. Arkansas, 100% under winter storm warning. Louisiana, almost 100%. Same with Mississippi, right? Kentucky, again, almost one of those states under a complete warning. Let's take a look at Dallas, just these local amounts, and you can see that they're forecasting 3 to 4, 4 to 6 additional amounts. Right now it's snowing hard. Again, I would expect some of these to probably be even a bit higher. Right, and they're showing more snow is going to be happening next week. All right, and just click on more cities. Little Rock, the Arkansas area, in terms of accumulated total snowfall. It's taking a bit there to load. Let's just click on the capital, Little Rock, and show you how much snow could be falling, right? 2 to 4, 2 to 4, less than 1 inch. In total, quite a bit of snow. Really, this would add up to 4 to 8 inches. And then more snow, you can see Wednesday night, Thursday. So an absolute onslaught of winter, a historic winter, to be honest, with all the storms we've been getting across the Midwest. A very active system. The Northeast, you have winter storm watches, but mainly for, say, freezing rain and other types of wintry mess. Not necessarily the snowfall. It's not loading for some reason here, but we could just take a look at what the National Weather Service is showing for you, and you could see no snow. It would probably fall in the form of rain, or freezing rain and sleet. Okay, so I showed you the different models and what they think and how much snow could fall. I do want to quickly time this out for you and show you this hour by hour. The last thing I kind of want to do with this. So let's go to the RAP, which goes out to 51 hours, and time this out. So I'll read off the hours while also trying to tell you what's going on. So notice this is Sunday at around, there we go. This is today at 6 p.m. Relatively good representation of what's going on. Again, these models aren't perfect. Look at what we have. We start seeing, again, that's light snow spreading into Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, the first wave, if you will. And then here's our second one starting to brew. This is at around midnight today. a bit past midnight across the east, a bit before midnight across the west, as the time zones differ. Notice we start seeing snow spreading into southern Canada. Light snow again, and not really moderate, but it will be accumulating quickly and efficiently as it's very cold. Notice as we continue pushing this forward, what we see is that light snow kind of abating from a lot of these locations, and St. Louis, Indy could still pick up around 3 to 5 inches with that first wave. But again, here's our main second wave moving through Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas. This is now Monday, 6 a.m. Monday morning commute, an absolute mess, if not completely impossible across those locations. And then we see this moving very quickly to the north. By Monday, 12 p.m., so noon, this is what the setup is. Moving into Indy, St. Louis, Missouri, just tons of snow occurring. Very sharp snowfall. Cut off right there with that rain and ice line. Quickly accumulating. Notice the lake effect starting across the Illinois area, most likely underrepresented by this model. And this has been a shift. Again, you can see clipping a lot of central Illinois, even Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa into Illinois. And earlier the models were kind of forecasting a bit further to the south and east. This is at around Monday 6 p.m. You can see just a full-fledged snowstorm across Indy and into Ohio, right? Into Kentucky, Tennessee. This will definitely be a borderline blizzard-like storm. They won't issue blizzards because they don't think it will be enough of a reduced visibility, even though the winds may get there. And there's several criteria that require a blizzard. Maybe a few counties, but for now it doesn't seem likely. And then notice lake effect ongoing right here. Very heavy snow into Chicago. Light snow to moderate snow across Michigan, Indy, northern Indy, and into Ohio, and pushing down to southern Canada with that very heavy snow, and then moving through. You can see that the northeast mainly ending up with, I should say, the coastal areas mainly ending up with ice. This is now midnight Monday pushing, or midnight Tuesday pushing into Tuesday morning, and this is now Tuesday noon, and you can still see lake effect potentially going on across Chicago, and then getting out of here. In terms of the RAP, total snowfall amounts, if you were to look at the Kuchera, you could see that they do add up quite a bit. Vast area of the Ohio Valley, the southern central Mississippi Valley, into Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, seeing 6 inches plus, and then we start getting those higher amounts of 12 inches plus. Chicago potentially, according to this model, some areas 1.5 feet of snow lake effect. Not impossible, to be honest, with those dynamics that will be occurring. So just a potential crippling snowstorm for many. Blockbuster, a historic one nonetheless. Notice southern Canada also getting crippled by 1 foot plus of snow. And, while this is significant, it's not going to be as significant as, getting 1 foot of snow in Kentucky and Tennessee, where some people don't even have snow shovels or preparations. While, in southern Canada, 1 foot of snow happens usually at least once a year. So, definitely still a massive event. And again, as I mentioned, right after this, another system's on its way, which could be equally as significant, if not more significant for certain areas. So that's basically it for me for today. Just keep your eyes to the sky, keep your eye on the radar and the National Weather Service in case of any emergencies, any type of disasters that may form out of this. For example, some sort of collapse of a roof or building, as the snow will be pretty heavy, especially towards the south. Always officials, the National Weather Service, and if you're stranded on a highway and if you need help, you call 511. Okay, that's basically it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow once this system is unraveling even more. Thank you. See ya.